All right, nerd alert. This is really my favorite part of getting you in the red zone. What is it? It's the data tracking. Years ago, your top businesses in any local niche were spending upwards of $80,000 a year to put a colorful ad in a book that had a bunch of phone numbers in it. And I just prayed that somebody opened the book, went to their niche, and called. There were tracking numbers, but it didn't tell you how many times somebody went into the book, or how many times people looked at your ad, or what types of people looked at your ad, or what time of day they looked at your ad, or what location looked at your ad. So you were winging it. 80 grand to wing it. Now, what blows my mind is today, those same people, when the phone book went away, just kind of left that budget on the table and really haven't converted it into digital marketing, which is crazy because with this data, we can now target who you want to be your customer. So, tracking website rankings, we track your visitor data in multiple places and multiple fronts so that we can get a clear picture of what, who, when, and where your potential customers are looking at you or looking for what you're selling so that we can maximize the campaigns, whether it's ads or SEO, or even your social media, to make sure you're in front of the people you need to be in front of to generate our return on investment and generate sales. We can optimize the user experience with the data. We can identify growth opportunities. We obviously monitor the SEO performance. We, set and measure goals based on trends we see. Because all businesses operate in a bell curve, and so what we'll be able to do is set the budget allocation based on the bell curve. So business comes in waves. It always does. It's never static. It never just flat lines. Never seen it. You always have ebbs and flows. So you have times with massive demand and times with none. And so we're able to see these trends over the years, use this data to maximize your campaigns to generate the highest return on investment possible. We can also use the data against your competition who we're competing for business against to beat them with regards to SEO and even advertising. So data tracking is really, really important. Yes, it's really nerdy. And if you don't know what you're looking at, it just looks like a bunch of numbers. So let's show you a couple areas where we track data. First and foremost, we'll track ranking data for a particular website. So this is one. So we can see the trends of ranking. So we can see when there's a Google update, something happens, we fix it, we now do better. So there's a few areas we track the algorithms, and we use multiple programs to do this. This is just one that has them all the algorithms in one place for us, so it's just easier for me to show for demonstration purposes. So as you can see, the rankings are never static. They're always moving up and down and changing. So we're checking them constantly. And the four algorithms we check are the Google, which would be your desktop algorithm. Yes, there's different algorithms for different devices. Believe it or not, you'll get different search results if you're searching from a desktop computer versus a mobile phone versus a tablet, that kind of thing. And different, you'll get different data based on different locations from where you are searching from. So we check our rankings here on the desktop, always. We want to keep you range bound. It's never going to stay the same. It's always going to go up one, down one, up three, down three. What you want to look for what we look for is anything that massively changes. We're getting up 20, down 30, up 20, down. There's something wrong. And so we'll have to pinpoint that based on the keyword and the page that's jumping up and down, because there's something the algorithm doesn't like, and we'll find out and we'll fix it. So we check the Google Maps. This will be just the generic Google Maps algorithm. Those are your Google business listings. And this is as if somebody's just searching from anywhere to the Google Maps. We'll then search mobile, the mobile algorithm, to see the difference between the rankings for mobile versus desktop. Let's go back to the maps. We'll also, in many instances, we're not doing it on this particular website, because this website basically, is does business in the entire state of South Carolina. We will pinpoint individual areas. So your town will search from a geographic location within your town to see what those rankings are versus maybe the next town, and versus the generic results, just to see how things move and change and shift as people are searching from different areas. It's pretty neat. We can also do the same with mobile, because those do shift as you change your geographic location sometimes as well. We also check the images. The image algorithm has has its own set of things that help us pull the mobile and the desktop algorithms as well. So we know when our images are all ranking at the top for our keywords that we're on the right track, and we're going to pull in these other keywords as well as we increase the optimization factors. And we check our Bing. Bing's starting to get used more now that they've gotten into the AI game. And so we track this data to make sure you're showing up in the, realistically, we want to be in the top 10 for just about everything. But as I said, things ebb and flow. So you might be 3 one day, 6 one day, 1 day. What we don't want to do is be 30, or even if we see we're 15, we're just below the top 10, then we know there's some things we can do to pop it up to the top 10 and move it. And then you'll see correlations between this moving up and this moving down, and you really gather a lot of information by tracking these rankings and watching the data. And we use this in conjunction with the Google Search Console, where we go in and previous video show where we have to fix things that Google says are wrong with the website, even if they're not wrong. And it shows us a trend. Well, it's not the most accurate thing in the world, I got to be honest with you, but it does let us see trends between the traffic we're generating, clicks we're generating, and then our average position within Google. But even these things that people, if you do not use this to determine where you're ranking, because this position number changes drastically. They're not checking the individual algorithms. It's kind of just like an overview, and it can be wrong. But what we do is we want to see the trend on the graph. So we track this data, and then obviously we use this data to fix pages, make sure that our scheme is correct, and all the other stuff. We also track the data through the analytics, check users. We want to see where people are coming from. We want to see what our top pages are. We want to see where the traffic's coming from. For a younger business, we want the organic search to be number one. As a business gets older and better, the direct traffic or branded traffic should outweigh the organic. When they're searching for your business name, it's a really good sign for Google that everyone knows you, and it helps the other rankings as well. Referral, whether your social media is generating any clicks or links, and then if we're running ads, it'll be in here as well and shows the data from who's clicking through. So we can compare that data versus the data they have on the ads platform to make sure everything is working the way it's supposed to, and we're not paying for clicks that don't exist. Those are the three main areas that we check. There are a few more. We don't need to get into those for this, but data tracking is super, super important. It really helps us determine what content to put on the website, what content needs to be fixed, what content's trusted, what content's not trusted, what people are looking for. And like for instance with this, if we go to impressions, so the number one keyword that we want to optimize for is how much does mold remediation cost? That's the greatest number of impressions. So these trends and impressions go up and down, change all the time. So we're constantly looking at it to determine which content we need to put on the website to get you in front of people that are searching for what you do. If you're winging it, just not using data to create content and get yourself in front of people who are active buyers, you're going to lose. You're going to lose to anyone who is. And we don't try and make assumptions. We use the data to tell us what to do. So, tracking website rankings, visitor data is super important. I absolutely love going through it. And this is in the heart of everything you do in all your, I don't care what you're marketing in. If you're on TV, if you're radio, if you're in the paper, I don't know why you'd be in the paper. Anything you're doing, we can use something to track the data to see how effective your marketing strategy is and then manipulate it to make it better. And that's how you get in the red zone.